Just waiting for a few people to come onto the podcast here. And I've got an announcement to make. Just getting situated. Here we go. We've got some people coming on. My name is Mike with VintageSnowmobileLovers.com. I'd like to thank you for coming on tonight. I have an announcement to make. Actually, it's not me that's going to make the announcement. I'm making an announcement that someone else is going to be making an announcement. And that someone else is our good friend, Midge Rosebrook of the Eastern Snowmobile Racing Hall of Fame. If you watch our podcast at all, you see we do a lot with the Eastern Snowmobile Racing Hall of Fame. It's a wonderful event that happens every year, and it's a wonderful way to honor all of those snowmobile racers from yesteryear. Now, Midge Rosebrook is going to tell us about the new inductees for 2021. Let's get that video rolling, and I'll talk to you on the other side of the video. Let's see.
Hey folks, this is Midge Rosebrook here announcing new inductees for 2021. We're going to have our induction at Crane Snowmobile Museum, September 11th, Saturday, at 1:30. It's a ways off yet, but I thought I would give you 5 candidates for this year. The first one, going in alphabetical order, is Bill Abold. He was the head of Team Abold out in New York. Herb Yancey and Ron Hall were team members, and also Chip Ellwood was a team member on that famous team. They probably, without a doubt, were the best snowmobile racing team, Arctic Cat team, in the history of the sport. They won just about everything. They took 6 or 7 World Series events. Herb Yancey was very, very big in that team. He won just about every huge, big event that there was to win back then. But the captain of the whole thing, and the guy that built the chassis for the team, is Bill Abold. And he's being inducted this year in 2021. The next inductee is our second lady racer. Her name is Diane Baker from New York. And I know you can't see the small print on her resume here, but she's got an extensive record spanning 20 years. And I can't tell you everything that she won. It would take too long. But she was #1 in many, many years, top in points in her class. And we're very, very lucky to be able to induct Diane Baker this year. Our third inductee is a person who has passed away, and his name is Robert Bottoms. Bob Bottoms was the president of Timberland Machines, and it was he, along with his first employee, Paul Crane, who were invited to Valcourt back in 1958 to try out this little machine that J. Armin Bombardier had invented for trappers and large logging operations, and he called it a ski dog. And he wanted Bob to look at it to see if it was something that he thought he could sell. At that time, Timberland Machines was selling their logging equipment, Bombardier logging equipment, like the J5 and the Muskeg and along that line. So he did go up, he and Paul, and Paul is credited as being the first person to ride a Bombardier Skidoo, first American. And Bob looked at that, and I think as a genius entrepreneur that he was, I think he saw past that little sled as being just for trappers. And I think Bob Bottoms saw that as an enormous recreational wintertime boom.
Yeah.
So he did purchase that one little sled that they brought down on December 4th, 1959, which Paul uncrated and rode. And the rest is history. So there you are, Bob Bottoms. Very big player in the early snowmobile.
He brought the first ski-doos to America.
Brought the first Skidoo to America, and under his leadership, I might add, at the height of the snowmobile craze back in the 70s, 10,000 brand new Skidoos went out of Timberland Machines each year to their dealers.
Wow,
it was huge. And here's our next inductee. Name got cut off up here by mistake with a printer, but his name is Wayne Chip Ellwood. He's the third racer in that big team of of Team of Bold, Bill of Bold's team. And Chip had a huge record all by himself. He won many, many races for Team of Bold. He was probably the most colorful racer in that team. Everybody loved Chip Ellwood. And his name now, along with the other two Team of Bold members, is going to be on the wall at Paul Crane's Museum. Our last inductee, fifth inductee, is Steve Fenoff. He's a Vermont racer. And he was probably our local hero, if you will, that didn't ride on a skidoo. He rode an Arctic Cat. And Steve came here in 1971 at the Grand Prix with a dozen factory teams out there, Timberland Machines, big team, and he took the 340 class in Mod 3, or Mod 2 rather. And it was an unbelievable feat for a local guy, but let me tell you, that's not the only one he won. He won many. And Steve Fenoff deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And he's going to join Roger Poulin, the two Vermont racers, on the wall at the museum. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's coming this fall, September 11th, Saturday. And we're going to start at 1:30 at Paul Crane's Museum here in Lancaster. And if you got to travel, right here at the Lancaster Motel where I'm sitting, is the place to stay. The historic Lancaster Motel is steeped in the history of the snowmobile. They were from the get-go. So please set your reservations, call the Lancaster Motel, and I guess that's all I've got. Thank you.
Is not on. Now my microphone is on. All right, we're having a few little technical difficulties here. Thank you for your patience with that. But yes, that was Midge Rosebrook's announcement about the 2021 inductees for the Eastern Snowmobile Racing Hall of Fame. Now, I'd like to invite you to come to the ceremony this coming fall. Here are the details on it. September 11th, 2021. It starts officially at 1:30, but I've got 1 p.m. there because I think if you're planning to come, it's worth your while to come early for a couple of reasons. You want to bring lawn chairs. There are no chairs there, so you're bringing your own chairs. It allows you to stake out a good spot, and it gives you time to then go into Crane's Snowmobile Museum, where there are over 100 antique, vintage, and classic snowmobiles for you to peruse. And you're going to take some time to do that because there's a lot to see in the museum. So you want to make the most of your visit. Also, during that time, prior to the ceremony, there are inductees, past, present, and future, who are coming there to attend the event, and they're milling about, and you can go approach them, talk to them, get your picture taken with them, and listen to them visit with each other and reminisce about those old times and hear these amazing stories of yesteryear. So I invite you to come to the ceremony this coming September. I also have to give a shout out to the nice folks, our good friends at the Lancaster Motel. That announcement that you saw Midge making a few minutes ago, the Lancaster Motel was kind enough to make their lobby available to us to film that announcement in their lobby just a couple of weeks ago. So we thank them for that. And as Midge mentioned, and as I've mentioned many times, the Lancaster Motel, you cannot find a place that is more steeped in the history of the snowmobile than the Lancaster Motel. And I want to tell you a few things about the Lancaster Motel. If you do trail riding and you're thinking about trail riding the East, the Lancaster Motel is offering an incredible deal right now. 2 nights for the price of 1. If you're able to come during the week, you can get 2 nights for the price of 1. The Lancaster Motel is right on the trail. The trail goes right through their back lot. And there's plenty of parking for your vehicles, for your trailer, for your sleds, all of your gear. It's safe and secure, and it's a great place to go. Like I said, you're right on the trail. Now, these trails that we're talking about, these trails are some of the earliest trails in America. Why is that? The reason for that is because the first snowmobile club in America was formed in 1964 in Lancaster, New Hampshire. And some of those early trails still exist. Of course, they've been widened and modernized to today's standard, but you can still ride what I like to call the legacy trails. These are some of the first trails in America. And why was this all happening in Lancaster in 1964? as far as the first snowmobile club? Well, the first Ski-Doo snowmobiles were imported through Lancaster. So the first Ski-Doo snowmobiles ever to come to America came in through Lancaster, and the company that did that, Timberland Machines, set up dealers all over the Northeast. And I don't know if they did the Midwest dealerships. I'm not sure how that story works. A lot of this happened before I was born. This first happened in 1959. So the history in Lancaster is absolutely amazing. The other thing I need to tell you about, if you're interested in the history of the snowmobiles, there's no better place than Lancaster and the Lancaster Motel. One of the many reasons, I just gave you several reasons. One of the other reasons is because the Lancaster Motel is walking distance from Crane's Snowmobile Museum. So when you book your room at the Lancaster Motel, you want to then pick up the phone, call Crane's Museum, and arrange a schedule a time to visit the museum, because it is by appointment only. So when you're booking your room, once you finish that, then pick up the phone again, call Crane's Snowmobile Museum, and book a time to visit the museum. The museum is a building 50 by 100 feet with over 100 sleds in there. There's old racing sleds, old collectible sleds, things from the... He's even got I think it's a modified Model T that's got tracks on it and skis on the front, almost like that Christmas special, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, one of those, and it was built in 1926. So they've got some incredible sleds in there. Now the Eastern Snowmobile Racing Hall of Fame happens at Crane's Snowmobile Museum. So it's like, and I'm kind of darting around here on the storyline with things about the induction ceremony, as well as doing some trail riding at the Lancaster Motel. But bear with me, please, because it all ties together. The ceremony happens at Crane's Snowmobile Museum. Once the ceremony is finished, then everyone moves over to the Lancaster Motel, which is just a short walk away for the after party. And the after party goes on for several hours. And if you've booked your room at the Lancaster Motel, if you're planning to attend the Eastern Snowmobile Racing Hall of Fame induction ceremony, you're right there at the Lancaster Motel. You can attend the after party for as long as that goes. And once the after party starts to wind down, then you just take you're just a few short steps away from your room where you can go and retire for the evening. So I'm telling you about the Lancaster Motel because it's a great place. It's a great place to stay if you're planning to attend the induction ceremony. And they're also offering a wonderful deal for trail riders. So if you're thinking about trail riding in the East, there's no better place than the Lancaster Motel, because it's got all of this history associated with it that I've been talking about. Plus, they're offering a wonderful deal, 2 nights for the price of 1 if you come during the week. If you're interested in snowmobiling over the weekend, you can call them about that too. It's a different rate. It's subject to availability, but you're welcome to inquire about that. The other deal that the Lancaster Motel has going is that you're able to rent your room by the month or by the season. So if you're coming from 1 or 2 states away, if you're taking advantage of that deal, the seasonal room rentals, you trailer up all your gear once, you leave it there for the season, or for a month, or for the season, however long you want to rent your room. All of your gear is there, all of your suits, your helmets, your boots, your trailer, your sleds, everything's up at the Lancaster Motel, and you just kind of go back and forth on weekends or whenever you want to come up. And that room is your home away from home for the snowmobile season. So there are a lot of wonderful opportunities at the Lancaster Motel. If you are planning to join us for the Eastern Snowmobile Racing Hall of Fame induction ceremony, book your room now, because the ceremony books the motel solid every year for that event. So if you're planning to join us for the Eastern Snowmobile Racing Hall of Fame induction ceremony, which is September 11th, 2021, book your room now, or you may not have a place to stay. So yeah, thank you guys for letting me rant on here about all of these opportunities, and I'm just putting some different graphics in front of you so you can so you have information to check out. Also, one other thing, let me find the graphic for it. If you're tuning in to my weekly podcast every Thursday night at 9 p.m., we do have advertising packages as low as $2.99 a month. If you'd like to have your business, the message for your business appearing on the podcast every week. And it's a great way to get the message out if you've got a product or service that is of interest to vintage snowmobile enthusiasts. Just letting you know about that. Well, that is pretty much all I have for you. I thank you for coming on tonight and joining me here for a few minutes. I just wanted to let everyone know about Midge Rosebrook's announcement. about the inductees for 2021 for the Eastern Snowmobile Racing Hall of Fame. Also wanted to tell you about Crane's Snowmobile Museum and the Lancaster Motel as a place to stay if you're planning to join us for the induction ceremony, as well as their current 2-for-1 promotion they're having for Eastern trail riding. That promotion goes on through the month of February. The trails are in excellent shape. They've been getting good snow. The trails are all groomed, and there's more snow on the horizon. So the timing is just could not be better if you're thinking about doing some Eastern trail riding. And the Lancaster Motel is the place to go. There's no lodging destination that is more deeply and thoroughly associated with the history of the snowmobile than the Lancaster Motel. If you can find something that's got deeper connections than I've been talking about, please let me know. I don't know of any. It's just hard to find something that's more deeply rooted in the history of snowmobiling than the Lancaster Motel. It's a great place, and I have to say, when you're booking your room, a couple of quick things. When you're booking your room at the Lancaster Motel, there are a couple of things you're going to need. You're going to need a membership club card from a current membership from a snowmobile club, probably your local club. Now, if you're not part of a local club, not to worry. All you have to do is get the membership forms right there at the Lancaster Motel. You can join the Lancaster Snowdrifters. The cool thing about that is the Lancaster Snowdrifters is the first snowmobile club in America, founded in 1964. Get that membership card. Once you're finished riding, frame that card, put it on the wall, and you can show it off to your friends and say, hey, I am a member of the first snowmobile club in America. And that associates you with all of that incredible history in Lancaster. The first Ski-Doo snowmobiles were imported through Lancaster, New Hampshire. The first snowmobile club was formed in Lancaster, New Hampshire. There's all kinds of racing history in Lancaster, New Hampshire. In fact, the Lancaster Grand Prix, the racing that they used to have in the 60s and 70s, the award ceremony used to happen at the Lancaster Motel. And what else? We've also got Crane's Snowmobile Museum in Lancaster, just a short walk away from the Lancaster Motel. So if you're just joining me, I'm telling you about all of these incredible things to do with Lancaster, and it's a wonderful destination. The Lancaster Motel is offering a 2 nights for the price of 1 promotion through the month of February for people who'd like to go up and do some trail riding. The trail goes right through their back lot, plenty of parking for your vehicles, your trailers, your sleds. Everything is secure, well lit, and you're right on the trails, and you're just a short walk away from Crane Snowmobile Museum. And you're also going on those legacy trails, some of the first trails that people did trail riding on in America, because the first snowmobile club in America was founded in Lancaster, New Hampshire. I can just go on and on for hours. The Lancaster, New Hampshire is also home of the Eastern Snowmobile Racing Hall of Fame. There's just so many wonderful things about the history of the snowmobile associated with Lancaster. And when you stay at the Lancaster Motel and snowmobile out of there doing some trail riding, you're immersed in all of that history, and you can ride those legacy trails. You're walking distance from Crane Snowmobile Museum. Inside the museum, there are over 100 vintage sleds. Plus, there's a corner of the museum devoted to the Eastern Snowmobile Racing Hall of Fame. That's where all of the plaques and photos are for all of the inductees. It's just a wonderful opportunity. Well, I think that's it. This time, I think I'm really going to wrap it up. I thank you for joining me here for a few minutes. I wish you all a wonderful weekend. And if you're thinking about doing some trail riding over the next few weeks, no better place than the Lancaster Motel. Give them a call. The number is on the screen. The link in the description to their Facebook page. Please reach out to them, and also then reach out to Crane Snowmobile Museum to schedule a time to visit the museum. It's a wonderful snowmobiling getaway, wonderful snowmobiling vacation. That's it, guys. Thanks so much for jumping on. Thank you all for everyone who attends my weekly podcast every Thursday night at 9 p.m. I really appreciate all of the regulars on there, as well as the people who are coming in for the first time to check it out. I'm getting a lot of wonderful feedback and encouragement for people, and people are starting to send me photos and videos and things to share on the podcast. It's a great time. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will catch you on the other side.